The end of the week and it's time to take out the trash. Here's this week's Garbage People. That makes me so happy. Brett Ehrlich is here, and we've each chosen a person who perfectly exemplifies living that garbage life. I'm gonna go first this week.
I love it.
It was tough, like you said, it was tough during the break.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
It was a little bit tougher, and there were definitely a few people that I thought of. One candidate in the Democratic primary in particular, but I ended up going with what I think is a little bit more substantive. It is Susan Collins.
I almost picked Susan.
You know
there was a printout in the printer ready of Susan
Really?
Collins, but I'm glad I didn't.
So this is Susan Collins. If you don't know, she was one of the many Republicans that voted not to convict Donald Trump. But only basically her and Lisa Murkowski sort of came out and really talked about it in a way that really frustrated me. And Susan Collins was the worst because she tried to defend herself as someone who doesn't need to remove him because he has learned his lesson, which is the stupidest thing I've heard in a very long time, but stupid in a way that matters. Like, she is voting to continue the Trump presidency while also trying to cloak herself in supposedly being reasonable and rational and moderate. No one less earned the reputation that they continue to try to craft for themselves.
Yeah, there's no reason for that anymore. We're just reading receipts.
That's all it is.
She has never voted in the way that she gets credit for being.
Exactly. And so for that reason, she is the first of this week's Garbage People.
Do you know who Rollo Tomasi is?
I don't.
Rollo Tomasi in LA Confidential is the fictional character created by Edmund Exley of the person who killed his father. He's just like this thing that you come up with. It's like a fake person, but you need to give it a name.
Okay.
And that is today's garbage person. It is Tank Fletherly, the CEO. Tank Fletherly is the person I've made up who is the CEO of Shadow.
Okay.
Which is the company that made the Iowa app. I'm sure his name is Tank Fletherly, and I'm sure he rides on a bird scooter, and I'm sure that he lies to people all the time. Tank Fletherly tells people he's 27 years old and a tech entrepreneur, when really his dad just gave him $14 million and he knows a coder. Tank Fletherly says he's 27, he's 54.
He looks good for 54.
And he looks great because he Gavin Belson's his way into platelet transmission so that he can-
From interns, unpaid.
All that doesn't pay anybody, but he hangs out with Robbie Mook, really wishing he was in, and like sometimes says hi to the crooked media guys. Like they all go to Martha's Vineyard and they have a great time and they have a technological solution to actual problems. This is the guy that's getting, you don't want me to say it, but like this is the tech entrepreneur that funds all kinds of campaigns promising they throw $1 billion at different campaigns that they're trying to say that they're a progressive, but they're actually not. They're just trying to get that government contract. They're in LA's DA race, they're pieces of garbage, they're funding Gascon, don't vote for him. These are the guys that trick a John Legend into endorsing them.
How did you make this about that race?
Because that's what happens. That's what's happening. There's so many people.
Take him. You gotta throw him away at some point.
Tank Fletherly.
The first fictional garbage person.
Tank Fletherly and Sons.
Oh my God.
Garbage person.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.